Hello, welcome Dr. Sushma Singh this side. Today in Unit 25 Urbanization, let us start our lecture with topic Urbanization in India. In this section, we will trace the historical background to urbanization in India and see how influential history was in the present situation of urban places and process of urbanization. Urbanization did not occur once but has reoccurred over and over in history as societies have urbanized at different times. It is an ongoing process that has never stopped and has really slowed since its beginning. India has a long history of urbanization with spatial and temporal discontinuities. The first phase of urbanization in the Indus Valley is associated with the Harappan Civilization dated back to 2350 BC. The two cities of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa represent the climax of urban development attained in the Harappan culture. This great urban civilization came to end at about 1500 BC, possibly as a result of Aryan invasion. The second phase of urbanization in India began around 600 BC. The architects of this phase were the Aryans in the north and Dravidian in the south. From this period onward, for about 2500 years, India has had a more or less continuous history of urbanization. This period saw the formation of early historical cities and also the growth of cities in number and in size, especially during the Mauryan and the post-Mauryan eras. Mughal period stands out as a second high watermark of urbanization in India, the first occurring during the Mauryan period, when many of the Indian cities were established. The early part of the British rule saw a decline in the level of Indian urbanization. The main reasons for the decline of cities during this period are the lack of interest on the part of British in the prosperity and economic development of India, and the ushering in of the Industrial Revolution in India. During the later half of the British rule, Indian cities regained some of their lost importance. Further, the British added several new towns and cities in addition to generating newer urban forms in the existing cities. The following element constituted the permanent components of the Indian urban society. The military political town, serving as a center for the flow of cash nexus in the society and often for the redistributive system, and the temple or the full-fledged temple town. The great variations existing among the different periods and areas developed with respect to the degree of existence of a more centralized hierarchy, the relative importance of coastal towns in relation to those of the hinterlands, and the importance of temple centers and networks in relation to the more political and commercial towns. Now let us move to the next point, facet of British influence on urbanization. During the 150 years of British rule, India's urban landscape went through a radical transformation. The major contributions of the British to the Indian urban scene were the creation of the three metropolitan port cities, Calcutta, Bombay and Madras, which emerged as the leading colonial cities of the world. The creation of the hill stations, Shimla, Darjeeling, Mahabaleshwar, etc., and the plantation settlements in Assam, Kerala, and elsewhere. Introduction of the civil lines and the cantonments. The civil lines contain the administrative offices and courts, as well as the residential areas for the officers. whereas the cantonments were the most often built near major towns for considerations of security. The introduction of the railways and modern industry, which led to the creation of new industrial townships such as Jamshedpur, Asansol, Dhanbad, and so on, and the improvements in urban amenities and urban administration. In the British period, Indian cities became the focal point of westernization. Schools and colleges trained boys and girls in Western thoughts and languages. A new Western-oriented urban elite emerged whose dress, eating habits, and the social behavior reflected Western values and attitudes. With the process of westernization, there has been a concomitant alienation of the urban elite from the urban and rural masses. Now let us move to the next point, that is urbanization in the post-independence period. This period has witnessed rapid urbanization in India on a scale never before achieved. The major changes that have occurred in India's urban scene after independence are the influx of refugees and their settlement, primarily in urban areas in northern India, the building of new administrative cities such as Chandigarh, Bhubaneswar, and Gandhinagar, the construction of new industrial cities and townships near major cities, the rapid growth of 1 lakh and million cities, the stagnation and decline of small towns, the massive growth of slums and rural urban fringe, and the introduction of city planning and the general improvement in civic amenities. Here we want to close this lecture. Thanks for listening.